Hello, everyone. This is toilet training, parent education for families. So I want to mention that we'll talk about things in phases. We start with, so let's talk about what the topic is toilet training. As what the general public says, what we say in Montessori is toilet awareness or learning, and then which leads to the toilet independence. So, toilet training, typically, when you hear that word, is adult led, and a lot of times it's reward based. We wait for the sign of readiness, like when the children are staying dry for a long period, how they're showing interest, they're asking to use the toilet. It involves a short, intense teaching period, potty training over a weekend or 3 days. There are several books and training programs like that. Very adult driven. It has a rigid schedule with a frequent adult directed bathroom trips. Relies on rewards, could be stickers, candies, praises, and sometimes punishment or guilt. It can lead to frustration for both the child and the adult when the progress stalls. As you are on a schedule, the child has not signed up for this. May teach unintended lessons like I learn best when I am rewarded. Um, Mistakes upsets the adults, and then in turn, actually does affect their potty training. It's not having a positive memory for the child. Adult controls most of the learning, and they also get to the impression that they control my learning, the adults control my emotions. Whereas in Montessori, we talk about toilet awareness, which is the learning which happens initially. So this is child-led, and it's a developmentally aligned approach. Begins when the child is developmentally ready. So you could actually start when the child is walking comfortably. So I wouldn't do the first week that the child is walking. I would probably wait for a couple of weeks and they're able to sit on a potty. So encourages frequent, low pressure opportunities to sit on the toilet. No, we're not expecting anything to come out of it. No expectations whatsoever. We want to avoid interrupting their play to do a bathroom visit. So we try to use natural transitions time. So could be after you wake up, after you have eaten something. No rewards or punishments. Just the adult around them, the caregivers are calm, matter of fact, and support as taking into account the child's size, the ability, all of those things is factored in when we do the toilet learning, the toilet awareness. It moves at the child's pace. Every child does it at their own pace. And there are 4 stages of learning, and we'll talk about that later. It emphasizes collaboration. Adults helps with dressing, undressing, cleanup. It teaches an empowering lesson that I am in control of my body. My body is capable and good. Um, Learning is hard, but I can do it. I can fix mistakes. I make mistakes, but make mistakes, and my adults are here when I need them. They're not upset, they're calm. I rely on them. We do this in collaboration. I want to talk a little bit about the biology. Um, so for us to release so when a baby is born, they have a lot of involuntary movements, right? They're moving their hands, they're moving their legs, feet, all of those things, but it's not voluntary. And slowly, as they have control of their muscles, you see the voluntary motion happening. Myelinization is something which happens to your axons um, from head to toe and from inside to outside. So you will see they can actually hold their head before they can sit up, which is again your chest and your body, right? So things, and also it's from inside to outside. So the last one to get myelinized, which means you see control of your body is your exteriors, so your hands, your fine motor skills, and also the last thing they do is walking, right? So the muscles of the bladder, the bowels, and the sphincters are all needed. Like sphincter is that muscle which holds open or close when you're eliminating your urine or your feces. And of course, the nervous system also has to be mature. That includes the spine and several different areas of the brain. We talked about the myelinization. The physical readiness, the possibility of learning to voluntarily control all of these muscles have to be there for them to be toilet independent. What is toilet independent? Or why is that toilet independent much harder? Children unconsciously are absorbing everything in their environment. We call it the unconscious absorbent mind between 0 and 3. They want to emulate what the adults around them are doing. We did not teach them to walk. We did not teach them to speak. We are talking to them. They see us walking around them all the time. But if you look at it, toileting happens behind closed doors. And that's not something at school we can do, right? The children, but you could actually, if you keep your doors open, they will see that you're sitting on the toilet. They see a toilet, but they do not know what happens in the toilet. So that's why toileting takes a little bit more time and learning because it's not something they see repeatedly in their environment. The 4 stages of understanding children, what are the things they need to acquire? What are the uh, things we are looking for the children to be toilet independent? The first one is recognizing the elimination in the moment. The body becomes aware while it's happening. While urinating, they look down. They just notice visually that liquid came out of out of me. They may touch that area. They may grab their diaper or their underpants. This is an important step in the process of learning to use the toilet. They may stay in that phase for quite some time as they're building up that recognition over and over again. See, repetition is big onto Montessori, right? So that's where you make those neural connections and the neural network is formed. The second one is understanding the purpose of the toilet. That this comes with sitting on the toilet many, many times with no expectation, with nothing happening. Many opportunities to experience very brief moments of sitting on the toilet. So, like I said, the sitting on the toilet can happen as soon as they're walking. They have a party seat, they're sitting. It could happen again, doing your natural rhythms, asking them to sit or putting them on the toilet, the party seat, or the party where, like, as soon as they wake up, after they eat, after they wake up, and things like that. Really, so you're not really doing like a 30-minute clock is important. Seeing the adults modeling that for them. So in the home environment, leave your door open. Let them see that you're sitting on the toilet. That's something the adult does every day. And also talking to them, like, I feel my bladder is full. I need to go and urinate into the toilet. I feel like my bowel is full. I feel a pressure in my rectum, and I need to go and have a bowel movement in the toilet. So talking through it, like in the babies when we are changing the diaper, we are talking through it, right? So they are aware of the sequence. This comes and then this comes and this comes next. They really do like to emulate the people around them, right? That's how they're learning everything. So the more they see other people sitting on the toilet, the more comfortable they are going to be with the idea of sitting on the toilet. So this step is kind of adult driven, right? Adult is inviting the child to use the toilet at certain times during the day and hoping that they are able to urinate or produce a bowel movement into the toilet. Again, this is also a pretty long stage. Like I said, we could start as early as 12 months or when they're walking comfortably. The third one is recognizing that they are just about to eliminate. The process looks like I'm about to urinate or I'm about to have a BM. Oh, I'm urinating or I'm having a BM. Having any kind of notice, even if it's just 10 seconds, or it may then stretch to 30 seconds to a minute or longer before is a big step forward in this process. And the fourth one is recognizing that feeling of a full bladder or a full bowel with some advance notice. They are like, okay, I feel the pressure. I feel my bladder is full. I think in a little bit, I need to go to the bathroom. So they have to stop what they're doing and be able to go get to the toilet and have a successful deposit in the toilet. So another question I hear often asked is, how long does it take? When is my child ready to learn to use the toilet? There's a lot to learn. You saw all those 4 steps for the child to learn, right? Body and the body need to be ready. Those muscles need to be ready too. Environment also need to be ready. The physical and there's also psychological environment also has to be ready. So the physically and emotionally they have to be ready. I just want to encourage you as we go through the rest of the explanation of this process to realize that this is something that will take some time for the process to we need it to be positive. We need to be they need to be feeling good about themselves. They're learning. We need to feel good. That else in the who's helping them collaborate with us also need to feel good about it. So we need to be patient. We need to be supportive and give them time to move through this process in a positive way. Every child is going to go through this process, right? And they may take different amount of time. So trust the process. Montessori always talks about process. Break it down to steps, whether you're dressing, you're undressing. Everything is a lesson in Montessori. Wearing your underpants, wearing your pants, wiping, washing hands, and repetition. You do it, you do it, you do it. Please note that children are at a sensitive period for language, which means when you are showing something to them, you may not speak because as soon as you speak, the children will look at your mouth. What are you saying? Because they are at a sensitive period for language. So, a easy way to say this is when your hands move, your lips do not move, or when your lips move, your hands do not move. So, you may talk about it before you do it, and then you demonstrate. And when you're demonstrating how you're putting your underwear on or how you're putting your pants on, you may not speak so that the child focuses on what you're doing. Also, you need to remember 0 to 3, the subplane of our first plane of development is from 0 to 6, and 0 to 3 is called the subplane. And that's the unconscious absorbent mind. That actually lays, and that is where they're creating the foundation of their personality, who they're going to become. So we want to allow this child to develop independence. When they develop independence, they become self-confident. They feel good about themselves. And they're also going to try more things. The repetition and the consistency creates a feeling of calm as they can predict what's coming next. A good example is when you're reading a book and they like to read the books, they're read to more often because they can predict what's coming. Oh, it's going to snow, or they're going to go get out inside the car, so they know this is going to happen. You turn the page and they see it, and that makes them very happy. So that's exactly what we want. We want that consistency. We want that repetition, so they know this is what's going to come next. So for toilet independence, remember I said toilet awareness comes starting at walking all the way through until their muscles are ready. And that's when the toilet independence comes. They can independently go do those things, but it needs some collaboration for them to be independent. The key concepts for setup and support. We need a accessible bathroom setup. So every place we have a bathroom, upstairs one and downstairs one, you have to set up so that it is taking into account your child's size and their ability. Design the bathroom for the child. Ensure everything is child sized and positioned for their height and their motor skills. Ease of accessibility fosters independence and success, right? Which builds self confidence, and they're calm about it. They're not anxious about this new change or what they're doing now. Underwear, they need to go to underwear. So we have this training underwears which you can buy. I suggest you go and buy that from the store so the child get to choose what's on the underwear. So you will see It's thick around the middle, so it can catch some of the liquid when they are having a when while they're urinating or when they have a BM. We do wear under also a plastic wraps because we don't have want to have somebody pee while they're doing work. While they're doing work, they're focusing so much they may forget, even though they're ready. They initially they may forget, and we they may have the whole pee and like cleanliness because of the other children in the classroom. We do wear that so that it catches at least some of the urine in it. Diapers, so no diapers unless the only time you would use diapers when the child is sleeping during nap time or at night, or you're having a long trip to like, and they have just learned the toilet independence, and you don't want an accident. I've seen where parents sometimes will put a diaper because they don't want to really clean up their car seat. There are other ways of doing it. You could put a what is the puppy pad when you get a new puppy, those small little pads, and you can put it and you can put a hole through where your belt things are coming in. So you could do that. That's one way of doing it. Some people use like a thick towel underneath it. Um, Check and make sure everything that's safe because it's a thickness, because we are now asked not to put your jacket on while you're buckling them so that they have no space between. I think since we're putting it behind them, we should be okay, but double check that. Diaper blocks the necessary sensory feedback required for them for that body mind integration. Need to build that awareness. Children need to feel what happens. They need to feel wet. Need to feel uncomfortable when they release their bladder or when they have a BM. Experiencing that wetness helps them understand cause and effect. This is required for the body mind connection. Using cotton training underwear as they are thicker in the middle absorb, so at least you have less cleanup to do, or they don't see it trickling through their leg, or they feel like they were, that there's not too much of the negative feeling which comes with it. They also help connect their body and mind, saying that when I urinate, my clothes get wet. Many children don't even notice the wetness at first, but over time, they begin to be aware. It could be even the adults saying it, or saying that, I see that your underwear is wet. Sometimes in the beginning, we say, is your underwear wet? They may say no. We'll talk about the self-affirmation. No is their favorite word. They sometimes say no, even if they meant yes. So we'll talk about that soon. Promote natural motivation to stay dry without adult prompting. It supports the adults' awareness and timely response. So we see the underwear is wet, and we can actually help them get to the toilet. But underpants are immediately visible to the adults, right? So we can make that transition. Enable quick, calm response. Your pants are wet. Let's go to the bathroom. And we're building gentle association between urination and bathroom visits. Encourage brief potty visits after the incidents. Even if nothing happens, sitting in the potty reinforces that connection. This is where we take care of our potty needs, our elimination. Avoid clothing that hinders independence. Skip tight jeans, tights, jeans, onesies, anything with snaps, anything with buttons, so that they can actually do it. Initially, we will not really have any pants or only underpants is all they wear, so that it's only one layer of clothing they have to pull down before they sit. So we add the difficulties as they get better at that. Choose easy to pull down pants to support quick access to the toilet. I usually recommend parents to buy the next size higher with an elastic band, the pants, so that it's easy for them when the tight clothing does not help them. It's difficult for them to put their fingers through there. So practically, we put a thumb inside, the other four fingers are outside, and we are pulling together. You may do hand over hand. So the child, you should show child how to do it. You put your hand over their hand and you're pulling it because they do not know how much force to use. So they're learning it together a few times until they can do it. And it will be, you will step back a little bit. You may be doing one side and again give them choice. Do you want me to do this side or the left or right? Giving choices whenever you can. And at this age, two choices are pretty good. So they feel empowered. They feel like I am in control. If they can run to the party, pull down their pants quickly and sit independently, that's when we say success. They're done. They're good. Um, Clothing can make or break that success, and we absolutely do not want clothing to be the reason why they were not successful. Um, they feel like they have failed, even though it wasn't their fault. Um, so eliminate as many obstacles so that they can succeed. Clothing should never be the reason, like a child misses the toilet. We want to reduce frustration and build confidence. So what can you wear? Like sweatpants, elastic waist clothing, and short t-shirt. We don't want the t-shirt to be too long when they're sitting, that it may actually get wet or impede their, you know, urinating into the toilet and may go to their shirt. And also they have to go change that. That's another a longer process. Avoid long shirts that might get wet when sitting. Prioritize stretchy, easy to remove clothing. Pack away all of those fancy clothes, while they're potty training. There are parents who'll go and buy some secondhand clothing because you need a lot of pants and stuff. But I think it shouldn't take that long if they are been practicing sitting on the toilet, and you will have some laundry to do. I would definitely agree with that. Um, but the kids have been practicing, so that will help. Clothing to promote independence, right? So what do we need? The collaboration with the adult, learning to dress, learning to undress, when they get to sit on the toilet, getting in and out of the clothing. And we did talk about starting with no pants, just the training pants, training underwear. Routine trips to the bathroom, right? We're not really using a timer. We are going to skip the 20 minutes or the 40 minutes timer approach. It disrupts their play or their work cycle, or they create a negative because the child doesn't want to be interrupted when they're having fun. So avoid those timed interruptions. Instead, build toileting into the natural transitions, like after they wake up, before meal, after meal, before nap, after nap, before they come to school, after they get home, before we go outside. Make bathrooms visit part of your daily rhythm, their daily rhythm, I would say. Embed routines, trips into the flow of the day so they feel it's predictable and non-intrusive. So when a child, when we are helping in our classroom, we'll watch, we know so and so needs to go to the bathroom. It's been, a while, and they could have an accident because we could be keeping logs. You should be keeping logs too, because some children have more control than other children. So you want to know how often do they eliminate. So we'll look where they have put a walk away and then gently go and remind them or help them and guide them to a bathroom. Um, we did talk about less resistance and interruptions they have, more successful they are. They're happy to come and cooperate with you. The fifth is the most important, which is the patient and the consistent adult, the caregivers. This is going to be a process, and children are going to be very sensitive to the response that the adults around them are giving them. So being calm, patient, consistent is important. Children are sensitive to adult reactions, their facial expression, size, tonality of your voice, all of that matters. Emotional consistency helps them feel safe and supported. Avoid emotional pressure. Children may feel overwhelmed or frightened if they sense their behavior is actually adding stress to the adults around them. They love you. So they want to please you. So stay steady, reassuring them and collaborating with them throughout the process. Unconscious absorbent mind. Take everything in good and bad, right? We don't want to say that, um, hold on a second. Sorry about that. My charge is going to go down. So we were talking about the unconscious absorbent mind. That's the phase the 0 to 3 children are in. They take in everything, their facial expression, your eye roll. Their BM may be, sorry, I have to recharge my computer. Um, no remarks on the smell of their BM, may come to the conclusion that, that their body function is embarrassing or it smells bad. They recognize when their behavior is causing their adults to have distress. Sometimes that makes them feel powerful. It's an uncomfortable powerfulness, right? That's not something we want them to be powerful about. And that they have so much control over the adult's emotions. And it can also sometimes, depending on your child's personality, frighten them, right? To think that their behavior is having such a negative effect on the adult. So we have to be calm, patient, and consistent. Collaboration, right? It's the big word to provide the routines that the child needs. We do not do any intrinsic motivation. You can be excited about it. We'll say, I cannot wait to tell dad, call and tell dad you urinated in the toilet, or tell grandma and things like that. Two environments they need. Uh, One is physical, and the other one is psychological. So the physical is what we are setting up, right? In the physical environment, we always talk about a prepared environment in the classroom. This is a prepared environment in your bathrooms. So if you have an upstairs and downstairs, you may not set it the same way. Depending on how much space you have, you may be able to do some additional things in one versus the other one. The toilet setup has to be supporting safety, comfort, and independence. The number one priority is ensuring that the child can sit on the toilet without fear of falling and with their feet flat on the floor or on a stool. I've seen data, and I do not know the scientific thing quite yet. The children do not do have a bowel movement when their feet are dangling. The child should not need to hold on to an adult, or nor should the adult need to hold the child while they sit. It has to be all independent. So a floor potty is one option. Sometimes they may have a floor potty in both the rooms, upstairs and downstairs. Or you may only have a floor potty because of the space limitation in one of the bathrooms. So you do what's comfortable for you and what you can do. The good thing about the floor potty is uh, it's been a while since I bought a floor potty, so I'm not sure how. I think it's pretty inexpensive. It's ideal for starting out, like when they are learning about the toilet awareness. A baby can sit on a floor potty once they're walking, and so they're easy to clean and comfortable to sit on. I also suggest that if they have the floor potty, when they have a BM, that you're putting it into the toilet, or if I have a diaper, putting the BM and it's solid, putting inside. This is where the BM goes. So they know, yeah, I need to actually have a deposit in the toilet. This is where pee, or when you're pouring the pee from the potty into the toilet, you may say the same thing. The potty allows the child to sit with feet on the ground and legs spread comfortably, right? Whereas the insert limits a little bit. Um, and they can use it independently. They can go run up. No stools need to be moved unless you have a stool which is already there. It's faster for them to get onto it. No stools to climb. The second option is the adult toilet with insert, and that's where we want to go eventually. So some people may not want that intermediate step between potty and the toilet insert. You do you. So see what's comfortable and what you want to do. Whereas when we have that insert and it's an adult toilet, it's not child size. So we do have additional setup to make it accessible and safe for the children. Some children like the toilet insert with the have sides on it, so they can sit on it and hold on to it. Options include portable fold-up seats where you can take it while you're traveling. If you're going to the store, you can take it so they're not sitting, you're not holding them. You're more comfortable with that. The goal is a stable, safe, and independent system for the child to get on and off the toilet. So steps with handles, some of them have not exactly the learning tower, but they may have steps. If it's a higher toilet, they may need a couple of steps with the handle so the child can climb. A step stool should typically suffice. But you need to know the step stool should be wide enough for the child to walk up facing the toilet, turn around fully, and then lower themselves safely and to be seated on the toilet seat. Once the children feel safe and capable, they feel confident and calm. That's what we want. The second one is dressing and undressing. That's a key part of the process, right? Children needs to be able to pull their pants down and be able to go sit on the toilet. They need to be a comfortable place to sit while they're dressing and undressing too. So they may need a stool or a small chair, depending on the child size. Children should be, or they can actually, if it's your bathroom, I would say they can sit on the floor. We do have benches. They can sit on the floor and be able to put on their underwear on, but show them how you're putting your underwear on. Show them how you're putting your pants on. One thing I think said is like when you're giving lessons for dressing and undressing, or any lesson for that matter of fact, children are at a sensitive period for language. So when your hands move, your mouth does not, you're not showing them. When you're demonstrating something, your lips do not move. So the hands and lips do not move together when you're giving a lesson, one at a time. Children should be completely undressed from the waist down when sitting on the toilet. Pants around the ankles restrict their leg movement and can, because we can actually have the pants and then still get off the toilet because we have that much of practice. But the child can fall off and that can scare them. Could that be a step in the other direction? It could be. So we're trying to make everything positive for them. And it can make sitting unsafe or getting up unsafe or uncomfortable for them. The child needs to sit to push pants down completely so that you know um, they don't accidentally pee on their pants. Um, they're sitting to lift legs and step into their pants after toileting, and then they will pull up and stand up at the same time. So adult collaboration leads to gradual independence, right? At first, the adult does most of the work, helping the child dress and undress, talk through your process. I'm putting your pants on, I'm putting your underwear on. So making sure you're actually using your language with every step is important. Using the right terminology is also very important. I would still use, I'm putting my left leg through the left hole. So things like that. When we are putting a jacket on, we do that. Even though the child does not know what left and right means, they will learn it eventually. The child sits on the stool while the adult kneels or sits on another stool. I don't know. If you are not able to kneel, or get another stool in front of you to support and assist when the child needs it. Watch for moments when the child tries to take over a step. So you have to be slow down, especially when you're not undressing because they need to go sit in the toilet, but when they're dressing, see if the child will take over. Like gently withdraw. You do not walk away, but you're withdrawing and waiting for them to do it. Pause, because a lot of times they don't do things as fast as you do. Let them lead. As the child gains confidence, step back more and allow for independence to emerge. Guide only as needed. When asked, or based on your observation. You want them to be struggling a little bit. That's okay, as long as they're not frustrated and would give up. Ask before helping. Like I said, you need to pause because they cannot do things as fast as you do. Um, so be aware of that too. We're always being helpful, and then that's kind of impeding their independence a lot of times. Another thing I would say a nice thing to have is a mirror. Because when you are pulling your pants down or you're as they are learning to wipe, it's hard for them to really see. We know with the practice what to do, so it's good for them to have um, a mirror. So when they're dressing and undressing, if their shirt got stuck in the underwear, they can actually be aware of those things. Um, or they could see that, oh, I didn't pull all the way my pants up. I did not pull my pants down all the way. My shirt is, you know, inside my underwear, or my pants is um, my whatever that is. Yeah, change of clothing need to be accessible, and it needs to foster independence. So in the start of the process, the child is only wearing underwear. They need to introduce this after the child is successfully able to pull on down their underwear. So that step of changing themselves is once they know how to do those things. They also must have had lessons in dressing and undressing for this to be successful. You would provide a system for the soil cloth. Some people may use a bucket. The bucket may have water, may not have water, and they or a hamper. You can use a hamper also for the wet or dirty soil clothes. Help the child learn where to put the soil items after incidents or a change is needed. I would say offer two sets of pants that are clean for them, uh, two sets of shirts, and a small selection of underpants, maybe three or four. Empower through choice. Let the child choose from the options you are comfortable with. Will not have the whole wardrobe. Please do not do that. Two is good, so that they feel like they get to pick their pants from the two choices they have, and make sure you're replenishing it. Empower through choices. The child feels much more comfortable, much more empowered, feels like they are able to make a decision, and those decision making skills really improve, and that brings confidence, which comes with independence. So next, I would say is cleaning up with calm and collaboration. This is something, depending on how comfortable you are, I really think it will be advantageous for the children to be cleaning up, collaborating with you, and slowly doing it by themselves after they have learned those lessons. But again, I will leave that up to you. Initially, they may have the whole pee on the floor. The children are involved in this stuff based on how, like I said, the parents feel. So for cleaning up, you may need a child-sized mop, you may need some rags, or you may have some hand clothes, no, wash clothes and stuff like that. You could even cut up a old a bath towel and have those as for them to be able to dry. Sometimes parents are hesitant and say, I don't want them to touch the pee. But if you really think about it, their body has been touching their pee, has been touching their BM when they were on in diapers, right? You should also have a caddy with spray bottle. You may use a little bit of dish soap, a few drops of soap with water, or a few drops of vinegar with water. And if you're not comfortable with something soaking up and sitting in the lawn, your hamper, you may choose paper towels. Keep hazardous cleaning products, anything which you're going to disinfect with, out of reach of children, and usually when the child is not present because they will want to use those. Um, Expect cleanliness over time. It's not they are process oriented, they're not product oriented, so you do have to go back and clean after them. with consistent use of underpants and patient guidance, children will stay clean more often, right? They have less and less of pee on the floor and things like that. Incidents are part of the process, not a setback. And like I said many times, sometimes you see them taking two steps forward and one step back. I still think that's success. Urine and bowel movements are not dangerous or shameful. They are normal human functions, not something to fear or feel embarrassed about. But if cleanliness or if you're germophobic, you may not do it right away. Um, our goal is to remove stigma and anxiety, treat cleanup as calm, routine, and it's part of life. Avoid reactions that um, any reaction if you do, right? If you're doing so that they don't feel that they have done something wrong. So the cleanup has to be, oh, now I have to clean up. So making sure that you're not showing those emotions to them is very, very important. Create a culture of acceptance that cleaning together sends the message that this is something we take care of. You're safe. I'm here with you. We are going to collaborate with you and all of those things. The fourth one is hand washing and building independence through routine, right? Um, you don't have child size sinks. So they again do need a stepping stool. You may decide you don't want too many stools in the bathroom. So you can have the child move the stool from the toilet area to the sink area, um, but make sure it goes back into the and make have the child put it back unless it needs to be cleaned so that they know the routine, because when the next time when they have to use the toilet, they may not have enough time to move the stepping stool from the sink to the other ways where to the toilet, whereas moving to the sink is not as time sensitive as when I'm trying to go urinate into the toilet. Repetition, like I said, build habits. Hand washing becomes automatic when it's part of your bathroom visit. Make that sink accessible to them, right? Another thing I want to say is mm, children have to wash their hands at least for 20 seconds. The step is one pump of soap, rub and inside and outside and between your fingers, water, rubbing again. We in our classroom sing a song, or you could do say happy birthday a song twice. You may choose to narrate the steps, make it joyful, or you may point out to the bubble sensation. You may talk through the process, and so that you're building those engagement and l- it- they have had access to washing their hands. They have been doing that for a while, even in a infant room, we do wash hands after they're changed, even if they're not touching anywhere or they're not involved in the part of the toilet changing diapers. But that becomes part of their routine. Running water is fascinating. So even though they have used it at school, this may be a new experience at home. So they may still want to stretch that hand washing time longer. So allow some free access for a few days, so the child learns that it's not being taken away, right? Once they trust that access, I think they'll self-regulate. Manage water safely and sustainably. Adjust sink valves to reduce hot water, because they may sometimes only turn the hot water. So make sure it's not too hot, but at least initially you're actually going to be with them. Um, and you can also lower the pressure. You may do it as a little small, gentle trickle, not the full pressure, so that you can avoid some waste and keep those explorations safe. And I also want to say it's okay to say set limits when needed and say if water plays becomes messy, long, disruptive, it's getting all over the place because you have clothings there, right? Because for the you're actually putting the clean clothes too there. It's okay to say this is making a big mess. I'm turning off the water and we are going to leave the bathroom. Be consistent and calm. Limits are also part of learning. So the next one I would say is So we talked about the physical aspects, right? And the psychological aspects. Children under okay, so this is where they're around, I would say, 20 months, 22, 22 months through 30 months. The children enter a phase called self-affirmation crisis. It's a crisis. We call it self-affirmation crisis. It's not really a crisis, like the word crisis mean. So they are now learning, or they're starting to understand that they're separate from the adult. So sometimes developmental tension arises. Sometimes they want to be just like you, and then sometimes they want to be their own independent person. The duality shapes behavior and learning, right? Children may imitate adults while also asserting their autonomy. So they seek control over their bodies and choices. That's why three things I say you don't have control over is swallowing, actually eating, right? They have to chew and they have to swallow, sleeping, resting, and the third one is toileting. So toilet awareness supports this developmental stage, and if we go with what their interest is, what is developmentally where they are at, that's why we are successful in what we are doing. Starting when the child is walking comfortably, aligning with their growing independence, right? Early introduction reduces resistance to adult. Um, so since we are reducing, it's way before the self-affirmation crisis starts. uh, they are not resisting at that time. So it becomes part of their routine. So it becomes they're not going to resist that sitting on the toilet. It becomes a child-centered experience, not an imposed agenda, right? Montessori principle is again follow the child, respect their developmental readiness, offer opportunities, choices whenever you can for independence. I may say, going to the bathroom. Do you want to hold my hand? Are you going to go in front of me? Do I go first? So giving some choices is a little different. It may be maybe like, do I need to hold? Do I need to carry you? You may say those things so that they feel like they have a say in it. Sense of order. They have a sense of order. This comes and then this comes, right? And then comes this next. So order, predictability, routine, all have to be in that toilet training. Children thrive on predictability. We talked about the books. Less resistant when they know the order of things. Predictable routines help children feel in control. They are capable, and that makes them much more peaceful. Create consistent toilet routines. Children don't understand time, so that's why we don't do a 20-minute or 30-minute timer and ask them to go that frequently. Who is peeing every 20 minutes? They don't understand the time, but or the order of events. Um, Use transition as cues. We did talk about the best times for bathroom visits are after they wake up, before and after eating, before and after sleeping, before and after going outside, before and after car rides. An extra morning visit may be built in if they have gone like 50 minutes before, because we don't want to have an accident or an incident while they were driving. You're driving from home to school. Try to avoid joyful act in the middle of something. So kind of plan. Don't pull children away from play, work, or snuggles. Um, so when they're resisting and they say, I want to go outside, and you can say, we'll go outside after we use the toilet. I'll help you with that. Don't ask, because no is their favorite word at this age. Just guide them. Avoid asking, do you need to go? They will definitely likely say no, right? Um, Instead, use consistent or confident statements. It doesn't have to be consistent. It's time to visit the toilet. Come on, we are going together. We'll go outside after we sit on the potty or the toilet. Um, Sometimes they don't recognize the sensation. They're not quite there to have that sensation of needing to go. They may enjoy watching your reaction to their no. Be clear, you're not asking, right? Make it joyful and matter of fact. Staying calm, confident, avoid fear. Oh, if I say, will he say no? Or a refusal, that we know how to really say what words to use so that even if they say no, how can we actually bring them back to the toilet? Children are more likely to cooperate when they feel capable and supported. So, how do we support independence through dressing and daily routine, right? We did talk about this quite a bit. Balance, support, and autonomy start with collaboration, stepping back as a child gain more um, capabilities, abilities, embed independence into their daily routine, having that routine, step in while even needed. I'll pull the right side, you pull the left side. Oh, we can do it together. Oh, you're tired today. I can help you. I am happy to help you. Over time, shift the balance so the child gradually takes more and more steps. But also make sure they're not getting into frustration. They're like, I'm tired, I'm falling sick. So you will see some of the skills disappear. Avoid pressure or judgment. If they snuggle today, return to collaboration without frustration. Respect their emotional state and energy level. Support with patience and flexibility. Meet the child where they are at. If they put their shoes on today and they may not be able to do it tomorrow, not because they know no, they may have forgotten, I'm too tired to do it, right? So collaboration is very, very important. Avoid extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation, right? We talked about, stickers, candy, screen time, but be excited about their journey. Avoid guilt, shame, pressure. Celebrate gently and authentically. A warm smile or a joyful wording um, really goes a long way. Encourage and do not praise. Yeah, again, making sure you're not saying good job. You're trying to say, I saw that you were able to go and sit on the toilet and you're trying to urinate. Or you were able to climb up the stairs by the step stool by yourself. You were able to turn around. So all of each and every little step. So if you're describing what they did successfully, that is encouragement rather than saying good job or well done. Um, You will see us using the names of the body parts. We will say, penis or your vagina or your bladder, um, um, yeah, what else do we say? We do say anus or rectum. Uh, um, why do we say these words, right? Mm, we also normalize terms like urination, bowel movement as part of the everyday. So why does it matter? Avoiding correct terminology leads to confusion and misinformation. Embarrassment about their normal body function, or feeling shame, or we feel like, oh, this has to be dealt very differently than something else. Um, Model comfort and confidence. If you're not comfortable, I would say practice using that word so that it feels natural to you. Your tone teaches children that their bodies are not embarrassing or shameful. Create a foundation of body literacy. Children who understand and can name their body parts usually can be better equipped to set boundaries and seek help. That's a big, big thing for us. Develop a healthy, respectful relationship with their bodies. Acknowledge adult discomfort. Toileting can surface personal or cultural discomfort. So if you had some discomfort with it, it will be harder for you to do it, but we cannot really let that flow into your child. Reflecting and working through those feelings helps you support your child positively. I did say that, but I want to make sure I am talking about it. If it also protects them from any sexual abuse. I'm not saying protect them, that they're able to talk about their body language when somebody says, somebody touched my penis. You would see everybody in their surrounding is like, what happened? Right? Whereas if you say, oh, somebody touched my VV, or you may have a different word, nobody other than you understand what that means. So it also brings that awareness and protect the children that way. So that's another big reason why we use it. Another thing you also want to talk to the children about is How do I know when my bladder is full? So you talk about yourself when you're going to the bathroom. I feel I have a full bladder, so I need to go sit in the toilet and urinate. Or I feel like my bowel is full, I need to go eliminate. I need to have a bowel movement in the toilet. So we will say fullness, right? For the children, child friendly, you will say, Let's listen to your body." Your body is very smart. It gives you little messages when it's time to go urinate or you have to pass a BM. When BM is ready to come out, you might feel like a push in your rectum, or your tummy may feel full or tight. Sometimes you might even pass a little gas. That's your body saying, BM is coming soon. Let's stop what we are doing when this happens and go to the toilet. Your body will feel so much better when you listen to it. For urinating, you will say, as your bladder fills, right? Stretch receptors in its wall and set signals to your brain, right? Creating a sense of pressure or fullness in your lower belly or the bladder area. You may feel heaviness or tightness there. So, child friendly word to use is your body has a balloon called a bladder. When it fills with pee, it sends a message to your brain saying, I'm full. That's when you feel like you need to go and urinate. When you sit on the toilet, your body knows it's safe for you to let the urine out. So those are all child-friendly ways to explain things to them. How do you respond when we are not all going to have success? We'll have setbacks. Embracing emotions in toilet learning is important. Avoid languages that implies wrongdoing or failure. Say, today you had urine in your pants. That's okay. We will try it again tomorrow. Or don't say you had an accident or anything that suggests inadequacy. Keep the response calm, neutral, and matter of fact. Accept and normalize negative emotion. It's okay. They may be frustrated, depending on your child's personality. I'm like, and we'll say, it happens. It's okay. We'll try again later. Or we'll try again tomorrow. It's a new day. So it happens with everybody, right? We are not always our very best every day. So the children seeing that we make mistake and how do we try again is very important. How is your attitude when you feel you did not do well? We always have a chance to start again, do better the next day. Accept and normalize negative emotions. This is a big chance for your child. They're being asked to shift everything they knew about, like they're learning about elimination. It's natural for them to feel frustrated, sad, or resistant sometimes. Use emotional moments to connect, validate their feeling. We really wish we could go back to our diapers, right? But you know what? I believe in you. This is hard, but we can do this together. Offer support. Say, how can I help? Do you need a hug? Do you want me to go with you into the bathroom? Do you need me to pull down the pants? Can we do this together? Again, using that collaborative language is very important. If they say, I can use the toilet today, you can say, okay, if you get urine in your pants and want help, let me know. Come find me. We'll try it again tomorrow. Create an environment of acceptance and love. It doesn't matter if they have failures. It's just a learning. That's how they learn, right? So the next time they remember that, and that so that they could do better. Avoid power struggles like you're going to use the toilet, or don't say, Instead, what you would say is, you foster trust and emotional safety is very important at this time. This builds long-term cooperate. They will be cooperating with you and resilience also. Another thing I want to talk about is the fruits and vegetables, which will actually help them so that you produce something because success breeds success, right? So, best food for toileting, for BM or urine is watery foods. Fruits and vegetables with high water content like watermelon, cucumber, pear, peaches, kiwi, oranges, um, hydrating fruits, right? Did I Watery vegetables could be cucumber, zucchini, celery, carrots. Other helpful foods is prunes. See how it is. Some berries, some I have seen some of our children don't when they have too much of berries, they may have it. They may have a loose stool. You want a solid stool for it to be successful. Um, Applesauce, hydrating and easy to digest. Soups and broths, if they will like it, if they like it. provides liquid, right, and could soften the stool because if they're constipated, it hurts for them to go. So we want to make sure they're not constipated. So that's why I kind of added the prunes in there. But if that's going to give you a very loose stool, you may not do it. Yogurt with fruit, add probiotics is always good for your gut health, alongside with hydration. You already know why watery food is helps with toilet learning. But avoid foods like anything which will cause constipation, bananas, cheese, and extra dairy, white bread, pasta, rice, low in fiber. It may slow your digestion. No fried foods, no processed snacks, chips, crackers, nothing which is low fiber, high salt. Drink a lot of water. Um, I also want to kind of cover the diarrhea triggering foods so that we have success. Fruit juices like apple, pear, prunes, and excess can actually create loose stool. Sugary treats, candy, soda, sweetened yogurt. I'm thinking our children are not using any artificial sweeteners, spicy foods. They're not using any caffeinated drinks, large portions of meat. Sometimes it's harder to digest without the fiber balance. Constipation makes toddlers fearful of using the potty because it hurts them, and it takes a lot more to push it out. So because stool feels painful, diarrhea makes, but on the other side, diarrhea makes it harder for them to control the timing, leading to have incidents in their underwear, which again they feel that they were not as successful. So making sure you're balancing digestion, those build those confidence and routine. That's all key for the party success. With this, we conclude. If you have any questions, please ask me those questions. I'm more than happy to get back to you, or we can have another video with the questions I have compiled together. It was nice seeing you. Good luck with a beautiful journey with your child.